We are about to step into a realm that most people never realize exists. Behind the familiar surface of everyday life lies a deeper layer of reality, one understood by only a small group of individuals who operate with a different level of awareness. These individuals possess a kind of knowledge that allows them to shape how the universe responds to them. This isn't theory or spiritual fantasy. It is a shift in how you understand reality, one that fundamentally changes how life unfolds around you. Welcome to iUniverse, your sanctuary for spiritual growth and self-discovery. Hit subscribe and join our journey together. Most people spend their lives following rules that were handed to them. Rules about what is possible, what is realistic, and what they should expect from life. But the people who operate at the highest levels, the ones who tap into what some traditions call 33rd degree knowledge, understand something crucial. Those rules are not fixed. Reality is not rigid. It is flexible, responsive, and far more open to influence than society teaches. The very first doorway into this deeper understanding is perception. Most assume that they see the world exactly as it is. They wake up each morning, go about their day, and believe that their experiences are objective truths. But perception is not passive. It is an active, ongoing process that filters, interprets, and shapes whatever you encounter. You are not seeing the world. You are seeing your interpretation of it. And that interpretation is customizable. This is the foundation of higher knowledge. The realization that reality is not a solid, predetermined structure. It is a fluid experience shaped by the lens of your perception. Perception is like a lens. Through it, reality can appear limited or expansive. Most people use a narrow lens without even knowing it. But the individuals who understand how reality truly works use a far broader, more flexible lens. They see possibilities instead of obstacles. They notice patterns where others see chaos. They perceive outcomes before they form. This expanded perception is how they influence reality rather than be shaped by it. The world is not something they react to. It is something they create in real time. Every thought, assumption, expectation, and belief becomes part of the architecture of the world you live in. This is why your inner world is not separate from your external reality. It is the blueprint for it. To understand this practically, you must stop seeing your mind as a simple receiver of experience. Instead, imagine it as a projector. Your thoughts are not small, quiet internal whispers. They are instructions that shape the external world. Whatever you consistently think begins to appear around you, not because of magic, but because your thoughts create the mental framework through which you perceive options, notice opportunities, and take action. They create the emotional state you live in, and they guide the choices that build your life. If you think from scarcity, you notice scarcity. You attract situations that reinforce that scarcity. But if you think from abundance, genuine abundance, not forced optimism, you shift your internal blueprint, and reality shifts in response. This is not metaphor, it is cognitive, emotional, and energetic mechanics. Your beliefs form the foundation beneath your perception. People tend to believe that beliefs are formed by experiences. That is partially true. But it is far more accurate to say that experiences are filtered through beliefs. When you change a belief, the world rearranges itself to match the new internal pattern. This is why the highest performers do not limit themselves to what appears possible. They intentionally adopt beliefs that stretch beyond the ordinary. They step into a reality where the improbable becomes achievable simply because they refuse to accept the limits that most people unconsciously carry. Beliefs are not passive. They actively construct your world. Think about the last time you faced a significant challenge. You likely saw it as something external, a situation you had to fight or overcome. But a deeper perspective reveals that challenges mirror the internal limitations that need to evolve. When you shift internally, the external problem loses its power or dissolves entirely. The obstacle was not a punishment or a test. It was an indicator pointing toward a belief that no longer fits the person you are becoming. Once you understand that beliefs define your reality, the next realization is liberating. You can change them. You can update your belief system like software. The individuals who shape reality know this. They do not cling to outdated beliefs simply because they've held them for years. They refine their beliefs constantly, aligning them with the reality they wish to create. Identity is equally powerful. Identity is the root code of your reality. It determines what is possible, what feels natural, and what you unconsciously allow yourself to experience. If your identity is someone who struggles, you will repeatedly create situations that reinforce that narrative. If your identity is someone who succeeds, the world reorganizes around that expectation. Identity is not static, it is fluid. The highest performers regularly shift their identity to match the future they want. They do not wait for proof. They assume the identity now, and the external world adjusts accordingly. Identity always comes before evidence. Another layer of reality bending involves time. Most people see time as linear, past behind us, present now, future ahead. But deeper knowledge reveals that time is much more flexible. In the quantum field, past, present, and future exist simultaneously as potentials. When you think about your future, you are not visualizing a distant possibility. You are interacting with a potential version of yourself. Those who understand this do not wait for the future. They collapse the distance between now and the life they want. They align their thoughts and identity with the version of themselves who already has what they desire. By acting from that frequency, they pull the future into the present. Most people get trapped in what could be called the time lag mindset. They focus on what they don't yet have, and by doing so, they reinforce the gap between themselves and their goals. But when you embody the future now, when you live as the person who already has what you desire, you eliminate that gap. You speed up the unfolding of events because your internal and external worlds begin to match. This is not about pretending. It is about embodying. Embodying your future identity means walking, talking, choosing, deciding, and thinking from the perspective of the person you want to become. It means living in alignment with your future instead of in reaction to your present. This alignment creates momentum, synchronicity, and opportunity that accelerate manifestation. But embodiment must be paired with action. Action is the bridge between internal alignment and external manifestation. The top 1% do not sit around waiting for life to change. They take action, but not the frantic, fear-based action that most people take. Their actions are calm, confident, and aligned with the future they are creating. They understand that aligned action multiplies results, while desperate action blocks them. Reality bending requires trust. You cannot manipulate or force the universe into giving you something. Force creates resistance. Trust creates flow. Your relationship with the universe is central to this process. You are not separate from the universe. You are an expression of it. The highest performers understand that they are part of a much larger intelligent system. This intelligence communicates through intuition, synchronicities, patterns, and impulses. Most people are too mentally overwhelmed to notice these signals, but those who understand how to listen can move through life with clarity and timing that others describe as effortless. The universe does not speak in words. It speaks in nudges, patterns, and openings. When you align with it, you find yourself in the right place at the right time. You meet the right person. The right opportunity appears. Obstacles fall away more smoothly. Life begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a coordinated dance. Co-creation is the essence of this knowledge. You are not forcing reality. you are partnering with it. When your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and actions are aligned, you send a powerful signal into the field of possibility. The universe reflects that signal back to you. Alignment, not wishing, is what shapes reality. But alignment requires more than thought. It requires emotion, embodied belief, and presence. And at its deepest level, alignment requires surrender. Surrender is often misunderstood as giving up. In truth, surrender is the release of resistance. It is stepping back from the need to control every outcome. It is trusting that life is unfolding in your favor, even when you cannot see the whole plan. Surrender is a form of strength. It is a declaration of trust. When you let go of attachment, you create space for the universe to work. You open yourself to solutions you never considered. You stop blocking outcomes with fear, impatience, or overthinking. The highest performers know that when they surrender, their reality opens in unexpected and powerful ways. Gratitude amplifies all of this. Gratitude isn't merely feeling thankful, it is a frequency that attracts more of what you appreciate. The top 1% live in gratitude, not just for what they have, but for what is coming. They expect blessings. They anticipate growth. They appreciate the future before it arrives. Presence is equally essential. Creation happens only in the present moment. When your mind is fragmented, dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, you lose your power. But when you are fully present, your creative energy is concentrated. This is where change happens. Putting everything together, reality bending is not about forcing life into a shape. It is about aligning with the flow of the universe and co-creating your experience. It is about mastering perception, updating beliefs, expanding identity, embodying your future, acting with alignment, trusting timing, surrendering control, and living in gratitude. Reality does not happen to you. You create it. When you master this, the question shifts from, is it possible, to, how far am I willing to go? Reality is elastic. It responds to your dominant energy. It can stretch, bend, and reshape itself around your inner world. But this mastery requires discipline, persistence, and consistency. Reality does not reshape itself in a single moment. It shifts gradually as your inner world evolves. Just like planting a seed, you must nurture your inner alignment and trust that growth is occurring even when you cannot yet see it. This is where detachment becomes essential. When you detach from the need for immediate results, you allow changes to unfold naturally. Detachment sends the signal that your desire is already certain, which speeds up manifestation. Attachment sends the signal that you do not yet have what you want, creating more lack. Flexibility is another key. The universe often delivers outcomes in ways you do not expect. If you cling rigidly to one specific path, you may miss the better path unfolding beside you. Those who shape reality trust the larger picture, even when the path looks unfamiliar. The final layer of this knowledge is understanding that your evolution is ongoing. You are always becoming more. The top individuals do not cling to old identities or outdated versions of themselves. They reinvent, they expand, they step into higher levels of awareness again and again. Reality bending is not a single achievement. It is a lifelong practice of alignment, refinement, and evolution. And once you step into this path, you realize something profound. Reality has always been responding to you. Now you are finally directing the signal.